Hello, and welcome to this webinar recording of how to support a youth in an unhealthy relationship. My name is Ashley Locke, and I am the Youth Education Coordinator here at the Dragonfly Center. I have experience supporting survivors of domestic and family violence both in shelter settings as well as community based outreach settings. So, this is a subject that I'm very passionate about. Our goal of this webinar is to equip you with the knowledge, tools, and resources to support, empower, and guide youth towards healthy relationships. We want you to have confidence in supporting the youth who's experiencing an unhealthy relationship. We thank you for being here. We recognize that your care and concern and willingness to learn how to be the best support is going to make a positive difference in the lives of youth. We want to acknowledge that there will be some sensitive topics ahead, as we will discuss unhealthy relationships, abuse, and emotional well being. Therefore, we encourage you to take care of yourself. Take breaks when you need to, prioritize your well being. There is no rush to complete this webinar all in one sitting. So let's go over some first steps. It can be upsetting to watch a youth who you care about navigate an unhealthy relationship, whether that's a romantic relationship or a close friendship. As someone who wants what's best for the youth, it's natural to want to step in and protect them. But even with the best intentions, pushing too hard or trying to take control of the situation can backfire. We actually need to avoid control because if a youth feels like you're trying to control their decisions or force them out of the relationship, they may withdraw or become defensive. This can lead to them shutting you out and actually deepen their attachment to the unhealthy relationship. One of the most important things you can do for a youth who's navigating an unhealthy relationship is to create a safe and non judgmental space where they feel comfortable opening up. Many young people hesitate to share their experiences out of fear of being judged or blamed or punished. By approaching conversations with empathy and understanding, you can help them feel heard and supported. Even if you don't agree with their choices, your role is to support them in exploring their options, setting boundaries, and empowering them to act when they are ready. By focusing on empowerment rather than pressure, you help them build the confidence and skills that they need to recognize their worth and make healthier relationship choices in their future. Understanding what makes a relationship unhealthy isn't always easy, especially for young people who are still learning about relationships and self worth. Here are a few reasons why they might struggle. Media portrayal. Movies, TV shows, and social media can normalize or even romanticize toxic behaviors like jealousy, possessiveness, or excessive dependence, making them seem like signs of love rather than red flags. Youth also have a lack of experience. Many young people are still learning about relationships and may not have a frame of reference for what is healthy or unhealthy. They also have peer influence. So, if their friends normalize controlling or disrespectful behaviors, they may not realize that these actions are harmful. Some youth also have a fear of being alone. They may believe that being in any relationship is better than being single or alone, leading them to tolerate mistreatment. Some youth may have low self esteem. If they don't feel very confident in their own worth, they may accept poor treatment as something that they deserve or they feel they deserve. So, what if the youth that you are supporting is the one causing harm? Well, it's equally important to acknowledge when the youth that you care for is the one engaging in those unhealthy or abusive behaviors. Young people may not recognize their own harmful actions or may justify them based on societal messages or personal insecurities. Some reasons youth may engage in harmful behaviors include they are imitating what they know or modeling what they see. If they've witnessed unhealthy dynamics in their family, friendships, or media, they may imitate these behaviors without understanding their impact. They may struggle with emotional regulation. Young people are still developing impulse control and emotional regulation, which sometimes leads to possessiveness, manipulation, or aggression. There are societal pressures and cultural messages that may encourage dominance, control, or entitlement in relationships, leading them to believe that these behaviors are normal and acceptable. They may have a fear of losing control. They may act in controlling ways due to their own insecurities or fear of abandonment. As well, it's possible that they have a lack of education on healthy relationships. If they've never been taught about respect and boundaries and consent, they may unintentionally engage in harmful behaviors. So, as a caring adult, these are some things that you can do. You can help the youth to critically think about those influences, like those messages from their peers and from media and family. Think critically about how normalized those toxic behaviors are. And you can do this by asking them things like, what does a healthy relationship look to you? How do social media and movies shape ideas about love and friendship and what they look like? You can provide alternative perspectives and even reframe harmful beliefs, like saying something like jealousy isn't love, trust is love, or respect and kindness are more important than always agreeing. You can model healthy relationships by showing respect, good communication, and boundary setting in your own life and relationships. This also goes along with apologizing when needed and resolving conflicts calmly. Youth learn more by observing than they do by being told what to do. You can encourage learning and self worth. You can do this by sharing resources on healthy relationships, things like boundaries and self esteem. You can support their hobbies and activities that help them build confidence and their identity beyond the relationship. You can also have those difficult conversations regularly about their fears and cultural norms. You can have open, ongoing conversations about their worries and societal expectations. You can ask things like, do you feel pressured in this relationship? Do you think it's better or worse to be alone or single than being in a relationship where it's unhealthy or makes you feel bad about yourself? By fostering critical thinking, confidence, and self awareness, you are empowering the youth to make healthy, informed choices for their relationship. You, as a caring adult in their life, can help by keeping an eye out for warning signs, whether they are the ones experiencing harm or causing harm. Signs that a young person may be in an unhealthy relationship include controlling behavior. Maybe one partner or friend isolates the other from friends, loved ones, or tries to control their actions, like where they go, who they talk to, what they wear. You might even see apps that are showing their location or sharing their location with their friend or romantic partner. You might see emotional manipulation, where one partner or friend pressures, guilt trips, or coerces the other person into doing things that they don't want to do. You might see a lack of respect, where one person is frequently belittled, put down, dismissed, or subject to name calling and insults. You might also see physical or verbal aggression. Maybe there's threats, intimidation, or actual physical harm occurring in the relationship. As a caring adult, whether that youth you are supporting is experiencing or engaging in those behaviors, you can watch out for those warning signs. Pay attention to changes in behavior like emotional distress, isolation, controlling dynamics in their relationship. Those warning signs could also include things like sudden withdrawal from loved ones, constant anxiety about their partner or friend's reactions, or making excuses for harmful behaviors. You can address concerns with understanding, not shame. Youth are more likely to open up if they feel safe and supported. So instead of blaming or judging, use open ended questions and affirming statements like, I've noticed you don't seem as happy lately. Do you want to talk about what's going on? I'm here for you no matter what, kiddo. Recognize that youth are still learning, and many young people are experiencing relationships for the first time and may not fully recognize unhealthy patterns. So be patient, offer perspectives, and encourage self reflection rather than issuing ultimatums about that relationship or friendship. You can provide guidance on emotional expression and relationship skills. Teach them things like healthy communication, boundary setting, consent, conflict resolution, and healthy relationship dynamics. It's essential to address the issue with understanding rather than shame. Many young people are still learning and may need guidance in developing healthier ways to express their emotions and navigate relationships. Youth need to trust that they won't be judged or punished by you before they will open up to you about their relationship. Here's how you can help to create a safe space with your youth that you are supporting. You can approach them with compassion and openness. Use non judgmental language and statements like, I'm here to support you, no matter what. Or, you both deserve to feel safe and respected. Or, if you ever need help figuring things out, I'm here to listen. You can ask gentle, open ended questions like, how does this relationship make you feel? What do you enjoy about this relationship or friendship? Is there anything that makes you uncomfortable in this friendship or relationship? And then you want to validate their feelings and emotions. This can look like saying things like, I can see that this is really important to you. Your feelings are valid. It makes sense that you're feeling this way. Or, you don't have to have all the answers right now. It's okay to feel unsure. And I hear you and I believe you. You want to avoid outright labeling their relationship as bad, unhealthy, or abusive. Instead, help them reflect by asking things like, do you feel like you can be yourself in this friendship or relationship? Is there anything that could be better? What do you wish you could improve in this friendship or relationship? And do you feel respected or safe or loved in this relationship? And then you could also say, do you think your partner, friend, feels respected, safe, or loved in this relationship? Be patient and let them share at their own pace. You can say things like, it's okay to take your time. No rush. I'm not going anywhere. Also, keep in mind that silence can be okay too, even if it feels a bit awkward. Sometimes it's just the knowing that you're there for them that matters more than the talking or the filling of space. And you also want to avoid restricting access to that romantic partner or friend, as this can create a power struggle and unintended negative consequences. It can make the young person feel isolated, controlled, or even more drawn to that unhealthy relationship as an act of defiance. So instead of forbidding the relationship, it's more effective to encourage reflection, support social connections, and reinforce positive influences for the youth. It's very natural to want to tell the youth that you are supporting exactly what to do or to take over and fix the problem for them. But real support comes from helping them make their own informed choices. So, as a caring adult, you can encourage them to set their own boundaries and make decisions for themselves. Rather than dictating what they should do, ask them things like, what do you think would make you feel safer and more comfortable in this relationship? Could you set any boundaries or expectations with this person to ensure that this problem doesn't happen again? Or how do you want to be treated in this relationship or friendship? This helps them define their own limits and expectations. You can offer resources like books, workshops, or online guides on healthy relationships. This could sound like, hey, I found this article or book about healthy relationships that I thought you might find helpful. No pressure, but if you're interested, I can send it to you. Or, hey, would you want to do this online course that I found about healthy relationships? I was going to try it out and I thought you might be interested too. So, providing them with resources without forcing them allows them to explore at their own pace. You can also remind them that they deserve respect, kindness, and safety. You can reinforce this by saying things like, you are worthy of a healthy relationship where you feel valued and heard, or a healthy relationship will never make you feel small, or they'll never make you feel scared. These affirmations can help counter any doubts that they may have about their self worth. And we also want to build up their self confidence and self worth. So you can do this by encouraging the youth that you're supporting to join hobbies or sports or activities that make them feel strong and capable, and that reinforces their self identity beyond the relationship or friendship. You can also say things like, I admire the strength and determination that you show in your sport or your hobby. You are so talented at whatever their hobby is or whatever their interest is, poetry, singing, dance. I'm so proud of you for all of your hard work. The way you support others is incredible. Make sure that you're receiving that same support in return. And what if they are the ones causing harm? Well, change is possible, and youth who cause harm can learn to build healthy relationships with the right guidance. Your role isn't to shame them, but to help them recognize their actions, take responsibility, and develop healthier ways to interact with others. Here's how you can support them: encourage self reflection without shame. Instead of labeling them as bad, help them to reflect on their harmful behaviors by asking things like, how do you think your actions made the other person feel? Or, if someone treated you this way, how would you feel? Self awareness is the first step towards change. Do not allow excuses or blame shifting from the youth that you're supporting. It's common for youth who use harmful behaviors in relationships or friendships to justify their actions by blaming things like stress or jealousy or the other person's behavior or what the other person did made them react this way. You can hold them accountable by saying things like, no one else is responsible for your choices or actions except for you. Or, feeling hurt or frustrated never makes it okay to control or harm someone else. You can encourage accountability and behavior change. So ensure the youth understands that taking responsibility is more than just saying, I'm sorry. It means recognizing the harm caused and actively working to change. Help them think through what taking responsibility looks like by asking, what do you think a real apology includes? Or what can you do differently next time? How could you have expressed those feelings in a healthier way? What could you do differently to communicate without hurting or controlling the other person? You want to support their personal growth outside of the relationship or friendship. Help them develop positive coping strategies and self identity through hobbies, sports, or activities that build emotional regulation, patience, and teamwork. You could reinforce their strengths by saying something like, I see how determined you are when you put your mind to do something. Let's work on applying that to how you treat others. You want to help them understand what a healthy relationship looks like. You can do this by sharing books, articles, online resources about things like communication, boundaries, and respect. You might say something like, I came across this resource about healthy relationships. I think it could help you figure out better ways to handle conflict. So, again, offering those resources without forcing them allows them to gauge at their own pace in their own way. If there is any form of abuse, encourage the youth to plan for their safety. Now, this does not need to be a formal safety plan like the ones that are done in domestic violence shelters. It can be a simple set of strategies to help a young person navigate difficult situations safely. Some examples can include identifying safe adults. Make sure the youth has safe adults who they can go to for support in all areas of their life: school, home, work, or play. Identify safe places. Encourage them to know where they can go if they need space or help, such as a friend's house, school counselor's office, or a public space. Having a safe word or safe code word um, can be helpful. You can establish a discrete signal or word that they can use with friends, family, trusted adults when they feel uncomfortable, unsafe, need help, or want to leave a situation. As an example, you could say something like, if you ever text me, can I borrow your blue sweater? I'll know to call you and create a reason for you to leave. Or if you text me this certain emoji with no other context, I will know that you need help. I should call you and provide an excuse for you to leave. This can be anything that you and the youth determine is appropriate. You want to ensure that the youth keeps important context handy. So make sure that they have access to trusted people's phone numbers, including family members or helplines or anybody else they have as a supportive person. Make sure that they don't just rely on their cell phone alone, as sometimes cell phones die or get broken in an abusive relationship. So it's good to have a backup, like a small notebook with those contacts handy. Encourage the youth to use technology safely. Discuss privacy settings and location sharing on social media. Ensure they know how to block unwanted contacts and stop sharing their location if they have decided to do so. By having conversations around safety, the youth can feel more in control and prepared for challenging situations without feeling controlled or smothered. But what if they are the one causing harm? So, planning for safety is also important for youth who are harming their partner or friend. A safety plan can help them to avoid situations where they might act out of anger, frustration, or control, and it gives them strategies to manage their emotions in a healthier way. Here are some ways to support them in making that plan. You want to help them to recognize their triggers, help them identify situations, emotions, or stressors that lead to harmful behaviors. You can ask, what usually happens right before you feel the urge to yell, insult, or control? Or what warning signs does your body give you before you lose your temper? Things like feeling hot or shaking or clenching their jaw. My apologies. Once they know their triggers, they can work on healthier responses. You can help them to identify safe adults. Encourage them to talk to a trusted adult counselor or mentor when they feel overwhelmed or recognize that they are about to react in a harmful way. A supportive person can help them process emotions and help them to make better choices. You could help them create a cool down strategy. Teach them to step away from heated situations before they escalate into harmful behaviors. This could be whatever works for the youth, like taking deep breaths or other breathing exercises, counting to 10, or saying, I need a moment to cool down before continuing the conversation. You can help the youth to develop healthy outlets for emotions by encouraging them to channel their frustration or stress into activities like sports, creative hobbies, journaling, mindfulness exercises, because having a productive way to process emotions reduces the likelihood of them taking it out on others. They can use technology responsibly and safely. If you've Notice that they engage in digital abuse, such as excessive or controlling texting, monitoring their partner or tracking their partner, or posting harmful things. Help them to set boundaries for themselves, like limiting phone use during conflict or unfollowing blocking if they're struggling with control. Help them know when to walk away. If they feel themselves getting too angry or overwhelmed, help them plan an exit strategy. This could be as simple as saying, time out, I need a break. I can't continue this conversation while I'm upset. Let's talk later. And then physically removing themselves from the situation. By guiding them and creating a plan for managing emotions and behaviors, you're helping them to take responsibility for their actions and equipping them with tools for healthier relationships in the future. Change takes time, but safety planning can be a concrete first step. One of the most impactful ways to help the youth you are supporting is by reinforcing what healthy relationships look like. You can do this by having ongoing and recurring conversations about healthy relationships rather than a one time discussion. Healthy relationships are skills learned over time, and the youth needs repeated exposure to these ideas before they fully understand and can apply them. So, as a caring adult, you can lead by example. Teach them about mutual respect, healthy communication, and setting boundaries, and ensure that you are modeling those same values in your relationships, whether with friends, family, or romantic partners. You can use media and real life examples. So, this is things like TV shows, movies, social media, news stories. These can all provide great opportunities to discuss relationship dynamics. Ask questions like, did you notice how that character handled conflict? What do you think about how they set or didn't set boundaries? Or how would you handle a situation like that? These discussions allow youth to recognize both positive and negative relationship patterns in a low pressure way. You can also encourage them to reach out to helplines or online resources for guidance. A few examples are the Dragonfly Center's Knowledge Hub or the Izzy Chat feature. You could also use Kids Help Phone or websites like amaze.org. Consider counseling or peer support groups if available in your area. You could suggest that the youth follow content creators that educate about healthy relationships on their preferred social media apps, like the Dragonfly Center. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And you can reassure them that seeking outside support is not a sign of weakness, but a way to gain strength and clarity. By connecting youth to external resources, you're helping them to expand their support system and ensure that they have multiple sources of encouragement, guidance, and safety. Navigating relationships is a learning process, and young people need guidance, not judgment, as they figure out what healthy connections look like. As a caring adult, your role is to offer support, not judgment. Create a space where they feel safe to share without fear of criticism. Your ability to listen with empathy can be a powerful tool in helping them reflect on their experiences. While you may not be able to control their choices, your consistent, understanding presence provides them with the stability they need to develop self awareness and confidence. Create a safe space. A young person needs to trust that they can speak openly without fear of punishment or rejection. By staying patient, validating their feelings, and allowing them to express themselves at their own pace, you provide the foundation for honest, meaningful conversations. Offering guidance and reinforcing their self worth helps youth to develop the self confidence to make their own choices, choices that prioritize their well being. When young people believe they are valued, capable, and deserving of respect, they are more likely to recognize unhealthy patterns and set boundaries that protect their emotional and physical safety. Be patient and compassionate. Change doesn't happen overnight. The trust you build today may be the lifeline they need in the future. Your belief in them, even when they struggle, can make all of the difference. The impact of your support goes beyond just one conversation. It shapes the way they see themselves, their relationships, and their future. So, by showing up, listening, and leading with compassion, you are helping to break cycles of harm and empower the next generation to build relationships based on respect, trust, and love. Thank you for being a guiding light in the lives of youth. Your presence matters more than you know. I hope you enjoyed this webinar recording. And if you have any feedback or suggestions for more webinar content, just let us know. We'd be happy to hear from you. Thank you.